I'm live. I'm live. I'm live. I'm live. Hey. What up, 4C gang? Look, if I told y'all my day today, when I say, no, I'm just joking. How y'all doing, 4C gang? Look, I'm cooking. Hold on, let me turn this camera on. Hey. You know what? It's kind of dark. So, look, I'll show y'all as I'm going because I want to set my phone up. But anyway, how y'all doing? I'm cooking Sunday dinner. I had a beautiful day at church. I when I tell you I'm in love with that church, and that is why when you find something you really like, it make you want to be a little different, act a little different. I'm gonna keep trying till I get it right. I'm gonna keep trying till I get it right. Trust me, ain't nothing to it but to do it. So if y'all hear me cussing all of that, don't say shit to me. I mean, don't say nothing to me. But anyway, such a good day I had. Last night I was talking to somebody, and just this is God giving confirmation. Just so happened I was talking to someone, and I said, we were talking about my mama, and we were talking about mama's boyfriends. I said, there is none of my mama boyfriends that I liked. It was just like, men just was not good enough for my mama. But I said, but one guy named Gerald, that is the only one that I didn't say, you ain't my daddy. I really looked at him as a stepfather. Hell, he whooped me one time, and I wasn't mad because I deserved it. But his kids, and he had older kids. I think he was an older man. I think his oldest daughter was maybe 6, 7 years younger than my mama. But when I tell you those are my sisters and brothers, no matter what, I've always talked about them. Y'all never really heard me say too much about my brother, but my oldest is the Valerie. I just said that last night. I go to church. I'm leaving church. I'm going past a grocery store. I said, you know what? Let me just stop in here and see if they got anything on sale. As soon as I walk through the door, I hear, Michael. I see this lady standing there. Y'all know I'm famous, so here I go, taking out my pen, ready to sign an autograph. I'm out no picture. Anyway, it was my sister Valerie. My stepsister Valerie. And I'm like, oh my God. I just talked about you last night. She was like, oh, she said, that was number eight. What you want? Get what you want. I said, no, sis, I don't want to. No, it's on me. I said, well, you know what? I do need a little half-gallon of milk. Baby, by the time I walked out of there, I had a buggy for, no, I'm just, but what a blessing to run into her. And when I tell you, I love her, and it was so good seeing her, and that was nothing but confirmation that God is a part of it. Okay, so anyway, let me tell y'all why I got kicked out of the store. I can't see nothing, y'all. My lighting will be better. No use in me showing something. I'm gonna take pictures. But anyway, I go to church. I have a good time. I leave church. I run into my sis. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So I leave there and I come on home. Now, the store across the street, it's only one store across the street. It's a beer and wine liquor store with little groceries. From my first day of ever going over there, it's this light skinned bald head man. So when I go in there, I said, oh, very nice. I said, y'all don't have any cool 100s? He was like, no, but we'll have some. So maybe my third time there, I said, y'all still don't have cool 100s? He said, I said, this is my third time coming. He said, well, come a fourth time. I said, what? I said, how about I don't come at all? So then kind of got over that. I went in there. I used my debit card. Probably about $15, $16. And he charged me extra 50. He said, oh, because he thought I was going to pay with money. He said, oh, you're using your card. That's extra 75 cents. I said, no, it's not. I said, look, I know, one thing I know about my card. I'm a penny pincher. So anyway, I said, you know what? You make me not even want this. He said, you don't have to get it. That's black people. I said, I'll tell you what, then. put my money back on my card. I don't know how. I said, but you're gonna put. I don't want it. He said, you're gonna take this and leave. Now, mind you, he's a lot bigger than me. I would have had to take a little ass whooping, but trust and believe, one or two things would have happened. He would have whooped my ass, but would have thought twice about next time fighting when he see me. You know how you can lose a fight to somebody, but it ain't worth fighting them again. Have you ever fought somebody and you just barely won, but in the middle of that fight, you be like, I ain't fucking with this. They almost whooped my ass. I had a fight like that. It was narrow. And it's probably narrow because I'm saying it is. If you ask them, they probably say it was narrow to them. But there are some people I just didn't want to fight twice. Once was enough. I get it. Okay. How about this? You can talk your shit and I'll talk my shit. We just don't say nothing to each other. Sometimes you meet people that's go toe to toe with you. It's always somebody bigger and badder. But anyway, so he's a big guy, bald head guy, light skin. And I said, I said, I'm not taking that. I said, how about I call the police? He said, I don't care. He said, well, you're going to wait for the police outside. I said, what you going to do, put me out? He came from behind the counter. I took 2 puffs of my inhaler. I tightened my belt buckle up, tightened my damn shoestrings up, and I started running. Now, but I said, I ain't going no damn where. So anyway, I wanted a cigarette so bad that morning because I had a pack of cigarettes. I said, you know what, this nigga better be glad I want these cigarettes. And as I was leaving, he came from behind the counter. He was like, you can get the fuck on with your sweet ass. With your sweet ass. First of all, y'all, I had to check myself because I might have went in there tipsy one time. Because when I get a little tipsy, you can tell. But when I'm sober, I walk hard. Anyway, now he's a big, thick guy to my sweet ass. I said, well, let me move before you eat me. With your titties are getting, okay, but see, then some says stop. Some says stop. Why are you entertaining? So I'm doing good. It is hard when you know that you can go off and let. So I just learned how to do this. Start letting people have it in my mind. In my mind. Oh, I was supposed to drop the link for somebody. Okay, y'all. I am not. Listen. Shout out to my boy T. When I tell you, he looked up for me today. Now watch how I eat when I go a lot of easy food and I have the munchies. Okay, hey Sharonda, Mike, you found us. Who is Mike? Okay, anyway. So this is not gonna be a good live. I gotta take this cornbread out. I'm gonna make a plate and I'll be back. I just want to take come and join me. Your boy CMA. Anyway, that is why I got kicked out of the store because of that. Then I went over there today to play some lottery. I hadn't been over there in a while. And he was like, our lottery machine broke. First I said, this nigga in here. And then I said, okay. So I went to the counter. He said, matter of fact, we don't want your business. I said, and you don't want exercise either. Okay, this is my phone. Okay. I'll be back.